Let's turn now to our economics and business editor, Liam Halligan, with On the Money. OK, Liam Halligan, are we all going to be skint?
Well, I certainly think the Treasury is engaged in a softening up exercise, Patrick, briefing to the papers that this autumn statement on the 17th of November is going to be, quotes, painful, with, quotes, across-the-board tax rises. Here's Her Majesty's Daily Express.
Yes.
Dire warning, higher tax on way to plug debt.
Right.
There is, of course, a problem with the public finances. The economy is slowing down. The government is paying lots of money in debt interest, but it's paying a lot less, or it will pay a lot less than it was just a few weeks ago, because those borrowing costs have come down with the change of Prime Minister. I think what I'd say is there's now while the Treasury is briefing this as a statement of intent, I'd say there's a philosophical debate going, and that's a friendly word. It's a pretty full contact debate going on within Parliament. A lot of Conservative MPs don't like the fact that with the tax burden already at a 70-year high, that's the share of our GDP that's taken by tax, it's about 36%. Now Rishi Sunak, who calls himself a Thatcherite, is going to increase the tax burden even more. And this is at a time, Patrick, when consumer confidence is at a record low, and also manufacturing. I've got some numbers here on manufacturing. Now, a lot of people deride manufacturing. They say we're not as good as we were. We're still the 9th biggest manufacturer in Britain, right? And our manufacturing sector still employs a fifth of our workforce. This graphic shows the UK Manufacturing Index. This is a survey of business leaders across manufacturing. In June 2022, 52.8 of them said they think their economy is expanding. Their business is expanding. So that's why I've put green there.
Right.
In September, that went below 50% to 48.4%. That means business leaders across manufacturing think that their businesses are getting smaller, but it's plunged to 46.2% in October. That's one of the lowest figures on record. The last time that manufacturing index, it's called the SIPS index, was that low, Patrick, was slap in the middle of lockdown in the summer of 2020. So that's where our manufacturing sector is. Do we really want to hit these guys with higher corporation tax?
No.
Do we really want to hit people who are struggling to make ends meet with higher mortgage costs, higher energy costs, higher food costs, with yet more tax?
No, absolutely not. No. I was joining in the chorus there, but that's how angry I am about all of this, because, all right, I get that the Liz Truss stuff was maybe too much too soon. The comms are absolutely shocking. But now, if it's this kind of high-tax society that we live in, well, firstly, it's not very conservative at all, is it? And some people would say, well, if we're paying for what's been going on in the Channel as well and all of this stuff, we're paying for potential public sector pay rises and we're paying for higher energy costs and all this stuff. You know, where's all this money coming from? We can't just bleed the British population dry, can we?
I worry about business. I guess that's sort of my job, to talk about how business feels. I'm the economics and business editor, funnily enough. But I still think the business class, the political class, doesn't really understand business and what business needs. Now, the vast majority of business folk in this country, they're not sitting in a big skyscraper in the city of London. They're not, hedge fund managers like Rishi Sunak used to be. They're running small and medium-sized enterprises, so-called SMEs, Patrick. These are the companies, in my view, which we should be championing here on GBNews. They account for 2/3 of our employment. They account for half of all growth, a massive share of our innovation. These are the people who keep Britain moving. They are being slammed they were slammed during lockdown. The corner shops had to shut down while the big supermarkets could stay open.
Yeah.
And they're now being hit with an increase in corporation tax from 19 to 25%. When you are struggling to keep the doors of a business open, to take 6% off your margin could wipe out the whole point of being in business. And I don't really think that the Treasury gets that.
No, I agree with you. And it sucks out entrepreneurial spirit, which